You can watch how to use a Ledger wallet online, so I don't need to go over how to use a Ledger wallet. I needed to emphasize how important it is that you use a Ledger wallet, because keeping these off of the internet are going to gain you this, right? You're going to get more Bitcoin if you can keep them off the internet. Why? Because you're not going to lose them. You know how many coins have been lost in exchanges and hacks and broken hard drives? People lose them all the time. I've lost money. Caleb's lost money. Mike's lost nothing because he hasn't invested anything.
I lost doggy coin. I lost my doggy coin. That's something.
He lost the doggy coin in the exchange, which we're trying to stop you from doing.
Exactly. You use the
and I accidentally deleted the ones that were on my drive as well. I'm not to be trusted. I'm not to be trusted with these coins.
You use the exchange to take the money, physical cash, you put it in the exchange, you get your Bitcoin, and you put it on a wallet.
Why should I use offline wallet instead of an online wallet?
So the online ones are going to be anybody that controls your private key. And if you don't control your private key, they do. So they control your Bitcoin, because the private keys are the Bitcoin. So the biggest difference is who controls your private key. So that's why you would prefer an offline, because you're controlling the money and not some other random person. Truly.
All these big companies you shop at every day, they've all been hacked. So you kind of have to protect yourself in this world. These big corporations really aren't going to protect you. Another question from Apollo. He said, is there any plus sides to using an online wallet? Real quick, I would say convenience, and with convenience, you do pay a price. You pay a price, less security, but it's more convenient. What do you say, Jared?
It's absolutely convenient. I would say use an online wallet to do exchanges, but then keep the main holdings of your Bitcoin offline.
Real quick, Jared.
Yes.
I think an easy way to explain this is think an offline wallet is kind of like a safe. So it's kind of like a safe where you put your Bitcoin, where it's more protect. But if you think about it, safes are not as easy to access than like your credit card or your debit card. So
correct.
They both have their own pros and cons.
All right, so we're gonna show you an offline wallet. So check this out. A easy offline wallet would be on my link down there. You can see Ledger, and this is a Ledger I have right here. So we showed you this last week. This is basically a USB drive. However, this can hold your Bitcoins. But what's amazing about this is actually stored in what's called a separate key, which is your private key, which then can be turned into a 26-character key, right? Words, random. So let's say that this is my private key. Well, that's probably washed out. Check that out. You see those letters there, those words? So those words are actually Bitcoin. So that's the power of how crazy it is. So if you copied all these words down, okay, from the top to the bottom, and you put them in the correct order, it doesn't matter capitalization or whatever, you could actually access all of the Bitcoins on here. And if you do it, you're going to get some money. I'm not going to tell you how much, but congratulations, you're going to get a graphics card and some money tonight.
So which offline wallet would you recommend for a beginner?
For a beginner, for a beginner, Ledger is definitely the easiest. This is what offline is so scary, because it's like, wait, I'm taking my coins off the internet when I need to use them on the internet. That's so scary to think about. But when you use a Ledger like this and you just plug it in your computer and then you send your Bitcoins wherever you want, this paper stuff can get really complicated. However, when you set up the Ledger, it automatically creates these paper ones for you. So you don't have to worry about this.
Well, right now, James Bond's giving me crap because he's like, Mike, he doesn't have any Bitcoin. Why is he even on this show? And what I'm going to tell you, James Bond, is this. I was in it all the way 2 to 3 years ago. I had my machines going. I was getting all my doggy coin. Not Bitcoin, obviously, but, you know, altcoin. And my system got hacked and lost all my coins, and that was the end of it. But I still like to talk crap, and if these guys can convince me to become a Bitcoin owner again, then I guess this show's done its purpose.
He brings a good perspective, so I like him. Thank you for being on the show, Mike. you're going to do is you're going to get this ship this like QR thing, and you can write down your 26 words here. And then when you write down your 26 words, you can put them on your ledger, and then you can plug your ledger into your computer. So let's say this is my computer and I plugged it in. Then your Bitcoins will be there. Now you're going to need to confirm those Bitcoins when you send them, because they're so locked down on this ledger, they're not going to go anywhere because they're offline. So the only way to get them sent is using a security card. Now this security card is tied specifically to only this ledger. Okay, so you can't hot swap these with your friend and be like, oh shoot, can you send me a security card? I forgot it. Like, I can't show you this on the back side. There's a bunch of stuff on it, but that would unlock this one. Okay, so what's interesting about that is you can use this security card to prove your identity through your phone and set up a two-factor. So now $1 million, woo-woo! You can use that, and you can send $1 million with your security card and your two-factor on your phone. That way you don't need to have that card around. You only need your ledger and your phone. So really you're taking the inconvenience of this offline stuff and making it magic happen right with this. So that's a really cool part of it. I guess a Bitcoin user on his computer every single day that wanted to sign his keys and see them directly instead of plugging this in, because you're just on your desk all day. If you're mobile and all this time, I don't know if a Ledger S is the best idea.
Trezor cable and Nano S are compatible, FYI.
Yeah, so why did I pick the Ledger over the Trezor, whatnot? Honestly, our aesthetics and the cable thing. I hate cables. Why don't want to carry around another cable?
So I'm guessing these offline ledgers are basically flash drives that are holding the coin, correct?
Correct. Your coin is in your private key. So right there, that one right there, that's a public key, and it's signed sending to a private key. And that signature is done by a big string of letters and numbers, but a more easy way to see it would be this, because that is my private key to the coin. So crack this private key, get the coin on here. Not bad, eh? But to send, you can send it through only the private. Now I can load them on my Android here as well. So I can have the same Bitcoin, same exact Bitcoin on here, okay? Right here on this phone, which is totally different, iPhone. Can have it on my Android, can have it on my Ledger, and can have it on a piece of paper. So that brings us right to our topic of backing up your offline wallet. So now I can say, okay, well, I don't have this, but I have my phone. And I don't have this because I don't want to type all 26 words in, but I have this phone. So no, it's just for test purposes, guys. So anyways, Caleb, how do you like offline wallets?
Well, for security purposes, it's definitely the way to go. I've seen more and more hacks, and you always hear about hacks and hacks. And everyone's like, well, Bitcoin's secure. Why are they getting hacked? It's because they're not offline. The hacks happen because people are done with their Bitcoin and they leave it on Mt. Gox, they leave it on Cryptsy, different things, instead of just keeping it themselves offline in their own thing.
You can have multiple ones of these. So if you copied that key down, you can create another one of these as long as you have like the signing card. So as an example, some of my Bitcoins are in multiple states, and what you can do is cut this in half, right? So now I have half the key in two locations, right? So you don't know what this half is, and I know what this half is. So now my Bitcoin is split, okay? So let's say upon my death, I die. My wife knows where to go to get said second or third, fourth, fifth half, right? So then she goes with those people, and she meets up, and she says, oh, I need his Bitcoin. Okay, so doot, there you go. Now she has the Bitcoin because she went to those different states, countries, whatever, and grabbed them. It's really not that difficult. Is it as easy as, you know, going to the bank and saying my husband died, give me the money? No, but is it more valuable? Most likely.
Well, so John said he just uses a standard USB stick. So why not just do that? It's cheaper. You don't go into a system, or is it not as secure, I guess?
Yeah, so USB stick, I mean, yeah, I guess you could use a SHA 256 or 128 or whatever USB stick and then write a passcode on it and whatnot. Brute force, maybe. Obviously, that would be difficult to do. This has what's called a secure element in this, and so there's a passcode that pops up, and if that passcode is put in wrong 3 times, it wipes. So that's really cool because now you could technically store multiple private addresses on here without knowing what any of them are on a day-to-day basis. So let's say this was my full private key. Okay, let's just say it was 12 words here, right? So we're going with 12 and 24. So I could load up my Bitcoins on here. They're signed by these 12 words. I could then put in the passcode, and I do this all the time. I'm going to demo this one day for you. Delete this USB drive. Put in the passcode wrong. It deletes it. Guess what it does then? It's blank. It says create a new key. So I create another key. There goes $1 million. Drop it off the Bitcoin wall. Create a new key. Now I can sign with that new key. But guess what? This key still exists. It does exist because it's invisible back here, but it's still on this signature by just reloading the private key again with the 12 words, 24, whatever, 26, you name it. So you can actually store thousands of Bitcoin addresses through paper private keys on this wallet and have this wallet sign them all. And all you need to know is where these are located and then your 4-digit code. Yeah, Bitcoin is totally awesome. Join us again in the next week or so. We don't know when we'll be live.
Digital gold out.